All right. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday night to you. Welcome to the Royal We Live. We are live on a Monday night. Every Monday night, I am excited to be here with you and talk with you as the Royal We family. I'm going to wait just a couple of minutes for a lot of you to start to sign on. I know there's a little bit of a lag time. I hope that you all are staying safe and keeping your distance and practicing your social distancing, which, in all honesty, you and I, coming out of narcissistic abuse, we have pretty much got a good handle on this social distancing thing. I mean, after all, many of us have been going no contact from toxic, not sick, but toxic individuals who we know, whether it be family or friends. And, it's toxic, right? What's up, D-Doll? D-Doll's in the house. I'm so glad that you're here, D. You're the first one on. You and somebody else who has not said hi yet, but I see that number 2 popping up. D, I'm glad you're the first to like, and I don't know why it says 10 o'clock. Yeah, social distancing, what a term. Social distancing is the new no contact, and that's what everybody's doing right now. And I got an error. It says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience delays. That's a bummer. As if it's not delayed enough, YouTube throws in this issue. But that's all right. So happy that you're all here. We're going to roll with it. The Royal We family is going to continue no matter what. And so, yeah, social distancing is what's going on today, and people are going mad and going nuts, and oh my gosh, and that's fine. You and I and all of us who have come out of narcissistic abuse, not a big deal, because we have already been practicing social distancing. That is what no contact is all about. You're socially distancing yourself from individuals who are sick, and in the case of narcissistic abuse, it's people who are toxically sick with narcissism, people who are arrogant, haughty, who are howdy, that's right, prideful, abusive, right? The goal is to socially distance yourself from these individuals. That's what going no contact is all about. And yes, narcissism is a sickness. I truly believe that. They are toxic. And just like what they are trying to get us to do by social distancing with the coronavirus, to make sure that the spread of the coronavirus does not, it's slowed, it's sloped, right? If you look at a graph, they don't want it to be spread all at once. And the point of the matter is they just don't want it spread, right? They want to stop it. They wouldn't contain it. Same is true for you and I with narcissistically abusive people who are into evil things and practices and all this nasty stuff that's in the world. You don't want that spread, because how many of you realize that when you are touched by a narcissist in a way, you do take on some of those things, right? You start to take on the anger and the bitterness. And so anyways, it's good to go social distancing. It's good to have no contact. And I'm glad that you're all here. This is a breeze, Kevin. Absolutely. I put a couple of posts. On Facebook, the Facebook support group. I also put one on the Instagram at Join the Royal We. By the way, if you're new, if this is your first time here on the Royal We Live, be sure to check out the Royal We Facebook support group. That's where many of you are from. Also, follow me on Instagram at Join the Royal We. I'm periodically going to start to post more things. Listen, I thought I was going to have a week off, but I don't. And I'm not trying to make light of the fact that a lot of people are out of work right now. But where I happen to work, it's been deemed as something in the Midwest that I need to continue doing. And so I'm going to go. But in the event that I was going to have time off, I was going to spend more time updating the Royal We site, getting things prepared for you all, for the Royal We family, because there's a lot I want to share with you. There's a lot I would still like to do, and there's more that I would like to put out there as far as healing from narcissistic abuse. Currently in the works right now, I'm getting ready to launch a video about trying CBD. I did try CBD for the first time, which is cannabis, in an effort to curb a lot of the issues that I experienced from the anxiety and the trauma of narcissistic abuse, and I can't wait to share that with you. So look for that video. I'm still editing it and putting it together, because there's a lot of information that they shared with me. The video itself, if I don't edit it down, it goes on for hours, and it's just not. I'm trying to condense it down, so I'm really trying to put it, trying to knock that video down, put it in a quick 10-minute video that makes sense for you. And yeah, so there's all kinds of good things happening. What I do is essential also. All right. So I'm happy that you're all here. What I would like to talk about tonight, before we get into answering any questions that you all may have, is somebody on the Facebook support group made a post, or asked a question that I thought was really important, because we've all been there. And this is an important question. The question is, and for those of you who are on the Facebook support group Facebook page, and you know what this question is, but the person asked, if the narcissist that you're dealing with knows you're a strong person, will they back off? Will they back off? And that's a fantastic question, because a lot of us struggle in our identity and wondering if we're strong enough in the situation or not. Are we being strong enough? Is the narcissistic abuse a result of a lack of strength on our part? And to answer that question, the short answer to this question is, first of all, you are stronger than the narcissist. And the second part of the answer is, yes, the narcissist knows that you are strong. Okay, so at some point in time, the narcissist is no longer trying to outstrength you and as far as that goes. But what we have to be careful of is thinking that if we show ourselves to be stronger, that they will stop and we'll have a good relationship, because that's not true. How many of you know that is false? Narcissists they're not looking for you to be strong in the relationship. Narcissists are looking to be right. They're looking to be the powerful. They're looking to be the one in control. They're looking to be the one over you. And so if you show strength, they will actually twist that into multiple other things. They will ultimately claim that you, who are being strong in the situation, are actually the problem starter. This is where we get into the area where the narcissist starts to gaslight and starts to throw the things back at you, saying that you are a problem, that you are crazy, that you are a bully, that you are abusive, that you're not very nice, all because you're showing strength in the situation. So when you stand up to narcissistically abusive people and you say, stop calling me names, stop cussing at me, stop acting like that, they come back at you with, you're abusive, you're toxic, you're a bully, because you're telling them stop. Narcissists have no understanding of boundaries. They have no understanding of commonality, of common courtesy. They have no understanding of these things. Someone is either, it's crazy. It's crazy making. So this is why it's important for you to understand that no, it doesn't matter if you try to be stronger in the relationship. And will it stop the narcissist? Yes, it will stop them from trying to be rude and mean, but it will only start, if you act stronger, it will only start to then create them to look like a victim. And it gives them ammunition to play the victim and to tell everybody how mean you are because you're standing up for yourself. Does this make sense? And thus the narcissism continues and the narcissistic abuse continues. Why? Because you're left feeling guilty on a daily basis. So the goal with narcissism and narcissistic abuse is not to try to outstrength them, not to try to even stand your ground with them, not to try to do anything that involves a relationship that's ongoing with them. The goal is to get out. The goal is social distancing. The goal is no contact. That is the only thing. Otherwise, without social distancing from narcissists, without going no contact, you are stuck in a crazy world that ultimately is dictated by the narcissist. And some days the narcissist will be the bully and be the mean one, and attack you and antagonize you and provoke you to fight. And then some days the narcissist will be the poor victim who apparently you are antagonizing and you are provoking and you are causing problems for. That's it. That's your life with the narcissist. There's no in between. And I believe that narcissists they're okay with either side. They're okay being the bullies, okay? And they're also okay being the ones who are the victims. They're okay with that, right? So when you think you got one up on them and you hurt their feelings, this and that, they're okay with that, right? And so, and this is how they want their life. This is how they want their relationships, a back and forth thing. Someone's right, someone's wrong. Someone's right, someone's wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. It's not about ever really getting to know you or caring for you or concerning for you. It's just a back and forth game. That's it. Life is a game to them. So yes, so that's what I have to say about that. I hope that answers the question. I hope that this gets back to that person in the Facebook support group. And let's go ahead and say hi to some people. I'm so happy that you all are here tonight. And let's see who else in. Tanya, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for showing up. Rabbit, hello. How are you, Fifi Lafleur? It's good to see you. And Donovan Brooks, hello. How are you? Live life happy. It's good to see you here. I'm glad. Sorry about your daughter. Hope she gets better. Live life happy. That sickness, the flu, the cold, all of it's going around right now. That's a bummer. Angela Walters, hello. Annie Oakley, how you doing? All right. So I hope that Jill, it's good to see you here. I hope that made sense to you, what we talked about. Jamie Nash, how are you doing? Carl Taft, it's good to see you. Now Carl Taft says here, he loves mom. She's sometimes narky, but I can be overly sensitive, controlling. Indeed. These can be the back and forth relationships. Hey, Jill. Right on. Well, it's good to see all of you. So I hope everybody is staying safe, and there's a lot of craziness that's going out there right now in the world with the whole. How many of you right now are on lockdown? Are you in a place where there is an order to stay indoors? How many of you are going through that right now? I'm just curious. Carl, we all have a tendency to be narcissistic. We all have narcissism in us. So, what it comes down to is if you have a functioning relationship where there is some common understanding, that's fine, because we all can have that narcissism. The goal is to live a life where you are in control of your narcissism, though. Now, narcissists who are abusive are out of control with their narcissism. They don't understand when and how and why to shut it off, or when and why and how to even turn it on. Let's take, for example, let's talk about home protection, right? Many of you may have some form of home protection. Home protection is so that you can protect what's yours and protect yourself in your home. And so you have that ability, you know how to protect should you have to, and only if you're in a situation where you have to, okay? That's the right way to use protection. Narcissists now, and this explains narcissism, they carry that protection everywhere they go. They brandish it, they gloat about it, they wear it proudly, and they go around pushing people around. See, that's the difference between a criminally minded individual versus a straightforward person who just is trying to make it in life but is willing to protect themselves. So this is a great analogy and a way to look at narcissists in this world. Narcissists are those who do what we are all capable of doing. Let's face it, we can all sit around and cuss people out, call people names, yell and scream if we really wanted to. But many of us have learned basic values and morals and basic understanding of common courtesy, so we don't go around doing that, creating problems for ourselves and other people in life. Narcissists have the ability to cuss and carry on and scream and shout And at some point, they stop caring who and what they do that with, and they just go out and do it because they're angry, because inside they feel like, well, I have a right because I'm angry, so I'm going to take it out on whomever. And so that's the difference, and hope that makes sense. All right. Bang, bang. So let's see if there's any other comments or questions. Mine tells everyone, still to this day, I'm keeping my daughter from him, even though he hasn't even tried to reach out to her since November 2018. Kind of makes me giggle knowing the truth. Live life happy. You get the bell. Ding, ding, ding. I love that because I have the same exact experience. Listen, I dealt with narcissistically abusive siblings, not on my side, on the wife's side, who accused me of the exact same thing. I'm keeping their half-sister away, right? And I struggled at first with the guilt. Am I? What in the world? But they do absolutely nothing. Nothing. I took my family. I got so tired of the cussing, the name-calling, the bullying, their attempts to make me look like a horrible, mean Christian guy, judgmental, horrible person that I am, because I stood up to them and tried to say, stop calling me names. I have children. Stop bringing that stuff around my family. They lost it. And I became enemy number one because I confronted their family on that. And so what happened after that was then I became the bad guy. And this goes back to the question we talked about earlier. Once you stand up and show your strength, you then become the bad guy and they become the victims. And poor them, I kept their half-sister from seeing them. I really didn't. In fact, I many times blessed my wife and said, you go, hang out with them if you want. I'm not going. I'm done, right? And I trust, I'm able to do that because I'm confident that in our relationship, but I'd say, hey, be blessed. They're your half siblings. You deal with them, right? And so I gave her that opportunity, and she didn't really want to. She didn't want to be there without me. They still to this day hardly lift a finger to ever even call her, right? And I'm thinking to myself, and seeing this unfold, I'm like, wow, they never even had it in them to pick up the phone and reach out to her, yet they want to accuse other people of keeping her away. And so it sounds like you're in the same situation. You're accused, and you're the monster, and you're the mean woman for keeping your child away from him. But he won't pick up the phone to call. He probably won't stop by to visit. He's probably not knocking at your door saying, please, I'm the father. I want to be involved. Let me. See, and this is what we're talking about when we're dealing with narcissists. They do nothing except play the victim or be bullies. It's like that's all they know how to do. They don't know how to be kind and courteous in trying to compromise and find ways, healthy ways to get what they want. They live in a world of they either take or they lose out. And they take by manipulation or whatever, or they lose and they hang their heads low and they disappear and they do their own thing elsewhere. Sad, right? You know what I mean? Craziness. Craziness. See what else we have here. Any other comments? Golden Child curses out our elderly dad. So sad when I see that. Nothing disturbs me more than watching the youth cursing and calling names and disrespecting the elderly, even in their own family. I was raised by a pretty disciplinary. I wasn't raised by my dad. I was raised by my mom. But when I did spend my time with my dad, I was disciplined. I was told to address, yes, sir, and his wife at the time, yes, ma'am, and But even as I grew up, I kept with me a sense of respect for the generations that are above me because they and don't get me wrong, I'm sure I went through a period in high school where I thought I knew everything. I'm sure we all did, right? We wouldn't listen to the advice of people who were above us, but we didn't disrespect them either. And so, but I couldn't imagine being disrespectful. And now I look forward to conversations I can have with people who are older and have more of higher generations. They know more. They've been through more. Narcissists typically just don't get that. They don't understand. They look at an older person or a father or whatever, and it's you're just an effing idiot and this and that and blah 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 blah. And I'm smarter than you and I'm better than you. And it's so crazy, man. That's that younger generation. The for me it seems like it's the millennials and below. The I generation or generation IZ or Z or whatever it is. It's just crazy. They have no respect. Think they know most. And I feel like I sound like an old man, right? I feel like, isn't this the story of every person when they get older? Man, them young generation kids, they have no respect. They don't, think they know everything. I feel like I sound like that right now. But it's true, I think maybe I'm starting to notice it. I'm starting to notice it now. And, all right, so let me see if there's any other questions. Because I'm rambling on to my royal we family. I love you all so much. I'm so glad that you're here. Character assassination. I was a golden boy as a kid. Yeah. I was too, Carl, to be honest with you. I was the golden child in our family. And I can tell you this, that I should make a video on this on YouTube that talks about this. The golden child doesn't necessarily have it good, folks. I would be considered my family didn't really, they weren't abusive. They didn't put people down or anything like that. But when it comes to doing things and getting, and accomplishing stuff, that was more me. My parents put me in the sports because I was willing. So I played football, I played baseball, I got involved in everything I could get involved in. And my younger brother didn't do any of that stuff. He had no interest in it. And I think that it kind of strained the relationship because my parents didn't quite know how to relate to him. He didn't want to do any of that stuff. And so when I think in terms of being the golden child, that's how I view it. And I can tell you this much, that as we grew up, now my brother and I, we have a great, fantastic relationship. I love him. He loves me. He's still very quiet. He's a lot more quiet than I am, a lot more shy. I'm a lot more outgoing. But what I struggle with that he doesn't is I've always struggled with this need to be accomplishing something in order to feel like I have any worth. And I look back now and I'm like, man, where does this come from? Man, why do I have that feeling? Like if I'm not doing something, I don't feel like I have any worth in life. And it's because that was the extent of my relationship with my parents growing up. It was based on what I was involved in. And so that was my experience being a golden child. Not great. So for those of you who are thinking, well, there's a golden child in the family and I'm the black sheep. And I think there's pros and cons to both. I really do. I don't think the golden child grows up to carry a lot of pressure to continue to perform and continue to be the best. And that pressure's got to weigh them down. It weighs me down. And again, I'm not an abusive type of person. I'm not the type of person to go and call people names and cuss people out and squash. I don't do any of that stuff. But I do. I am in the mindset that I constantly have to be accomplishing something and doing something. And I feel that need. I've got to be driven. I've got to keep going. And otherwise, I lose my sense of value altogether. So that's an issue that I'm praying through and working out. And I don't mind sharing that with you, the Royal We family. And, but yeah, I wanted to share that with you. Let's see. More questions here. More questions. Yeah, Heather Lynn, I'm so happy that you're here as well. Natalie loves all. The lockdown with my narc has been awful. We have nothing to survive. He has all his snacks like a child. Yeah, I'm thinking like candy bars and bags of chips. Whatever. Plus, I'm currently in silent treatment. Been almost 2 months without speaking. That is hard. To be in that situation. I completely understand, Natalie. Being in a lockdown situation with a person that's toxic and you're not getting along, that would be a nightmare. That would be a nightmare. It'd be my hope that you can resolve this issue. Hopefully when the lockdown is over, you can resolve it and figure out what you need to do in the relationship moving forward, how you're going to proceed, whether you're going to stay in the relationship or move on in life. Gray rocking is only short term, and you can help a little while you find a way to go no contact, asked Jamie. That's true, Jamie. Gray rocking, I don't believe personally gray rocking is a really good solution because, like you said, it's just short term. You can't pretend for very long to be something you're not. And gray rocking has you acting like this person in this corner, this dark, shady figure. And typically narcissists are really going to point that out, and they're going to really attack you, try to make you look bad for gray rocking. They're going to accuse you of playing games. They're going to accuse you of being there but being distant, right? They're going to look at you and gather everyone around and say, what is their problem? Because you're not acting like yourself, your jovial, happy self. This is why I think gray rocking is not a good idea. If you feel you need to gray rock in a situation, it's better to not even be there. Why be in a situation or in the presence of people where you cannot be yourself, right? But I do understand, and as opposed to gray rocking, what I would suggest is if you have to be in a situation like I've had to, where you have to visit the narcissists, the people who are bullies and abusive or whatever, and you don't want to deal with that, you don't want to engage in conflicts, you don't even want to engage in conversation, my suggestion is to go if you have to. Maybe a funeral or a gathering. Go, be nice, be yourself, don't gray rock, but just cut things short. Keep it moving, man. Just keep it moving. Say hi. How are you? Yeah, cool. It's almost like just learning not to care as much as you did. Don't sit and try to have an emotional conversation. Keep everything shallow. Essentially, what you're doing is you're just learning from the narcissist, right? Which we have is that narcissists, that's where they're at. They're very shallow people. Everything is face value. So just give that to them. All right, here we go. We don't have a relationship, but yeah, you're doing good. Yeah, oh, you're asking me if I'm doing good? Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. All right, wait, hey, what's going on? Where's the coffee? I'm thirsty, and go and grab some coffee, right? That's better than gray rocking. Just keep yourself moving, be yourself, but really just pretend it's more like somebody who has coronavirus. You don't want to stick around them too much. You know what I mean? It's just you want to stay around you don't want to be around the toxicity. That's what I would suggest. All right, let's see what else is next here. Gray rocking is one. Yeah, that's the one I just answered right there. Nothing. They played the pity party. Yep. They do HG1. Let's see. They pretend to care, but they don't at all. Always manipulation, bullying, and then they play the victims. Yeah, that's true. And that goes back to that question that someone asked on the Facebook support group page. You know, if you're strong enough in the relationship, will they stop? No, absolutely not. They'll just shift into victim mode, which is part of the narcissistic game. Again, they're either bullying or they're victims. There is no compromising common courtesy in their world. They're either bullying and in control or they're victims. That is narcissistic abuse. Crazy making. It's been 3 months, no contact. This writes Ghost Hunter. It's been 3 months, no contact. I went no contact. I'm worried sick that he's going to show up again. When is the narc done with me? He made me a big, bad boogeyman. Then would tell me I was perfect, but left. Ghost Hunter, that's a great question. And the answer to your question is, and this is going to be how you're going to have to deal with this situation. All right. You asked, when is the narc done with me? I'm going to ask you, Ghost Hunter, when will you be done with the narc? That is the question. Let's not ask, when will the narc be done with me? See, what we're doing, and I know this is hard, but what you're doing is you're putting the power of everything. You're putting the control 100% in the narcissist's hands. You're giving them authority over your life. You're delegating to them, you treat me and mess with me, and when will you stop? When will you be different? When will you change? The answer is never. They will never change in their game. They will never stop doing what they're doing. This is because their character to the core is narcissism. That's what it is. What you're dealing with is what it is. One of the problems I had in dealing with narcissism, with narcissistically abusive people in my life, is I did not believe them when they tried to tell me who they are. And they would write me messages. Kevin, as for my cussing, it's who I am. I cuss people out. As for my yelling, this is our family, Kevin. And I as I look back, what they're trying to say to me is, you keep coming, but you're wanting us to be different. So I had to realize, oh my gosh, that's right. Why am I going? Oh, because I want a relationship with them, because I believe they're good people. No, that's stupid. They're not good people. They don't want to be good people, and I'm not going to make them change, and so neither are you. So we need to stop asking the question, it's been 3 months, I went no contact, I'm worried sick that he's going to show up again, right? Instead, you should be saying, I'm not worried sick, because when he shows up, he's going to get a fat door right in the face and a voice through the door saying, go away, leave me alone. And now you might be saying, well, listen, Kevin, I'm not strong enough to do that yet. I can't tell the narcissist, go away, leave me alone. It's not that simple. It's too hard. I know it's hard, but it's simple if you just practice the saying no. It starts with no. 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 This is the beginning of asserting your boundaries. No, you can't come over right now. And you might even be shaking when you say that. No, you can't come over right now. I'm busy. And even if you said, I'm coming over, get out of the house, get in your car, and go somewhere. Disappear. Well, you can't right now if you're on lockdown, but regardless, do whatever you can to avoid it. You take control. And so, when's the narc done with you? The narc will never be done with you until you are done with the narc. I hope that's a good message, and it speaks loud and clear to all of you, the Royal We family. The narc will not be done with you until you are done with the narc. You have to be the one to stop engaging. You have to be the one to say no. You have to be the one to block and delete. Listen, I made a video called The Final Discard. It's a very popular video. I encourage you to watch it. If Tanya or Dee or if Blue is here, they can hook the video up. It's The Final Discard of Narcissistic Abuse. And in the video, the whole reason the video is to talk about how narcissists don't discard you. They play games with you. You have to discard the narcissist once and for all. You have to throw them out of your life. I'm done. Stop talking to me. No, you can't come over. No, we're not having sex. No, we're not doing that. Stop it. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. We're done. That's it. And I promise you this. If you do this, they will leave. You want the narcissist to leave? Practice saying no. They will leave. They're not going to get what they want from you. They will leave. They might cause hell on their way out, calling you this and calling you that. You're the let them. They're like little babies storming out of a room who can't get what they want. It's a tragedy to watch, but once they go and you show that you mean business, you're done. What can they do? Nothing. Ghost Hunter, I hope that helps you out. Will he show back up? Perhaps. Ghost Hunter. You are done with the narc when they reach the point of not caring what they think of you. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Narcissists, excuse me, they don't care for you, right? If they're not treating you well, they don't care for you. They just don't. If they're not listening, here's a rule of thumb. Somebody who's not going to listen to you, hold boundaries up, does not care about you. Period. End. So what do I mean? So if you have to tell somebody, listen, I don't like being called names, this and that. If they start to tell you something like, you're no better, you're judgmental, blah, blah, blah. What they're really saying, this is a red flag. What they're really saying is, I don't care that much about you. Right? To listen to your boundaries. I don't care that much about you. I hope you take that as a red flag. Those of you who are trying to meet new people or whatever, test that. They say something inappropriate, I don't like that. If they start to really harp on you, and then there's your red flag right there. They don't care about you. Period. End. How would you know the difference between them not caring and if they do care? Well, let's say it's a little extreme. Let's say they do something, they didn't realize they did something wrong, and you say, I don't like that. Please don't do that around me. And they say something like, "Oh, that's okay. That's interesting. Did something happen? And I didn't mean anything by it. I didn't mean to be offensive. As I understand, if you don't like it, is it, maybe?" And they ask you, "How come that's offensive? So offensive to you?" I'm just curious to know. If they approach it like that, then this tells me, and it should tell you, that you have somebody who has empathy. You can work with that. You can work with somebody who has enough empathy to kind of ask you questions and try to find out what's, do you want to talk about, if that shows they have empathy, that might be a good catch. All right. But the person who's like, "Oh, you're just you're a goody-goody," or, You're just judgmental, or blah, blah, blah. They don't care about you, period, end. They just don't. They're not interested in getting to know you. They're only interested in getting their own point and their own projection onto you as to what they want you to be. Follow me? Hope that makes sense to you all. All right, let's see what else we got here. More questions. Just got a call from, it doesn't come up in a search on the channel. D-Doll, the final discard? Doesn't come up? To look into that. Tanya got it. Thank you, Tanya. Just got a call from him after 5 months, Cheryl said. He left a message, but I resisted even listening to his voicemail. Good for you. Good for you. I'm not going to cave in. Even though I've had dreams every night since, I will not cave. Cheryl, stay strong. You don't need to hear the voice message. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you to delete it. Oops. Oopsie. It's gone. Right. But I this is obviously if unless you know there's a possibility of it being an emergency. I don't know the story. Maybe you have kids. Maybe something happened to kids. I don't know. But if we're talking about just a dating relationship, no children involved, you have nothing holding you together, no financial obligations holding you together, nothing of that sort, then boom, you don't need to hear it. You don't need to hear it. Let it go. Delete it. Boom. Oopsie. Oh, they called. I did not know they called. I didn't. Nothing wrong with that. Right? You don't owe them. Listen, the Royal We family, you do not owe narcissists anything. Period. And likewise, we need to start to accept that they don't owe us anything. They don't owe an apology. I've thought about this and I've chewed on this for a long time because nothing has hurt me more than realizing that I may never get an apology for the things that were spoken about me by certain people who I thought I could love and who could love me. Very, very, very hard. But I've had to reach this point where I'm like, they don't have to apologize. They don't. That's the truth. I have no control over them and how they treat people and how they act. So I have to accept, and this is for you, the whole Royal We family. I want you to get this. I want this to stick with you, right? They don't have to apologize. They don't owe me anything in life. And that's a sad truth. So what's left is me wanting and having a desire for them to apologize. But that does not mean they have to. They can choose to live their life how they want to live. But, now here's the catch. You and I now also can choose to live how we want to live and go no contact in the way we want to go no contact and keep our distance in the way we want to keep our distance because we owe nothing to the narcissist. It does not matter if it's your family or if it's an old friend or an old boyfriend or an ex-spouse. You owe them nothing. So if they want to play this game with you, you're the bad one and this and that, and we're not going to do anything because we don't owe anything for you, then you play that because it's the truth. I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing. I owe the narcissist nothing. They owe me no apology. I owe them nothing. I owe them no respect. So ultimately, it comes down to this, and this may sound really bad to you, but it's the truth, right? I don't just call people because they're siblings. I don't call them aunts and uncles and stuff like this to my kids just because I should have to, because that's what biological. No. You want to play this narcissistic game, right? Then you don't have to be nice to me. Then I don't have to associate my kids with you. I don't have to include you as aunts and uncles. I don't have to call you aunts and uncles. We could play this game back and forth forever, right? It's sad, but it's kind of where it's at. It really is. But the goal is it's not a competition. It's just being real about the situation. It's important. So no, they don't owe you anything, but you don't owe them anything. That's the point. That's the point. You don't owe them anything. Let's see. What else do we got here? Man. Lots of questions just jumped on there. Behavior speaks better than words. Yes. I'm worried sick to let another person close. They all seem to appear like my ex. I'm worried sick. It's just love bombing and a facade. Ghost Hunter, that's an excellent, great point. You will know by the way in which they're moving forward in the relationship. You will be able to start to get a sense as to what it is they want, what they're trying to accomplish. And I think that you know what they're trying to do and what they're trying to get. And this is why you're saying it's all a facade, it's all fake. And that's because this type of person that you're finding, or is finding you rather, and you're allowing in, is this type, right? So you have to readjust where you're finding people, where you're talking to people, how the conversations start. And also understand that there is an element in all relationships of basic instinctual humanity. So, Ghost Hunter, if you're a woman and you're talking about guys, let's be honest, I'm a guy. Guys have, and just like women have needs, guys have these basic needs too. It's going to come out. So that in itself is not the issue, right? We all understand this about dudes, about guys. A guy is a guy is a guy is a guy. A narcissistic, abusive guy and a normal, good, loving guy still have a lot of the same instinctual urges. Have them all, right? We're guys. We got them. Can't help it. So your part in this now is to decide and to find out, though, who are you hanging around and what makes them worth your value? What makes, you know what I mean? You put value and worth on yourself first with this knowledge that all guys are kind of the same in this area. And then you start to say, well, what am I looking for? And you start to hold these people off in the distance. No, we're not going there yet. I don't know you, dude. We're not playing that game yet. All right? The narcissist will run right away. Right? They'll come on real strong, and it's going to take everything you have to block them at first, because they will come on strong. I mean, narcissists will lay it on thick to try to get what they want from you as quickly as possible. But if you hold your line, like in the army, hold the line, they will go away. They will stop trying. They will say, oh my gosh, she's not interested in me. My charming narcissistic charisma is not working. And they will leave and find something easier. You can pat yourself on the back. Good job. And you might be saying, well, but then everybody leaves. No, because there's going to be some guys that are going to stick around, who are going to want to get to know you, who are okay with being just friends, right? The guys that have been put in the good friend box. Why are they your good friends, right? Why do guys get in the friend box? Because they're fun to talk to. I'm just not really attracted, but they're fun to talk to. And they're secure, and they're stable, and they've got things going on for them, and they're super nice. Well, you better start figuring out maybe how to become attracted to that. If what you want in life is stability and someone to talk to. Because listen, I could tell you, as a married man, and stuff, when the sex is gone and this and that, and that's all you got left anyways. Boom! I could drop the mic right now. All right. You hear me, Ghost Hunter? I hope that makes sense to you. See, what else do we got here? Any other questions? Oh, it's on the Royal We. Not join the Royal We. Yes, the organic Royal We channel. When a covert narc goes into desperation for supply, they will become more overt. Not near me. And we need to start developing the attitude. Not near me. Don't bring your overt stuff near me, right? This is where, you start to draw the line. This is where you contact law enforcement. This is where you have to let it be known that certain things aren't tolerated. Period. End. Whatever it takes. Right? Or I was joking. You're too sensitive. Yep. All right. See, any other questions? My mother's devout Catholic and I'm not. She shamed me for it. I think it's ridiculous, but I don't argue with her anymore. Mike, I agree. I agree. It is pretty bad when they shame you for not being their same values and beliefs, right? But don't, you have the right attitude, obviously. You're not changing your values and beliefs because of your mom, and you just don't even argue anymore. That's it. Boom. You're a winner. You're a winner in the Royal We book. That's for sure. Thank you, Ghost Hunter. Let's see. If you're around narc for long periods of time, you pick up some bad behaviors. It's hard to stay perfectly normal in the long term with narcs, you get fleas, so to speak. Jamie Nash, that's absolutely right. I made a video, a cup video. It's probably the most popular video on YouTube, where I pour the liquid in the cups, and it's my most popular video on YouTube, not the most. Sorry, forgive me. The one that I have that's the most popular on the Royal We channel. Okay, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. I'm not trying to narc out. You understand me. But anyways, the video, I do a trick using liquids, and I pour the liquids into one another, and it transfers. It shows the transference of the muck of narcissism. And yes, when you are around narcissism, and because of the dynamic of the relationship, because you are put in a position where you have to start to fight back and defend yourself, and your adrenaline's raised, you start to take on that anger and that frustration, and you start going back and forth. And so yes, that starts to stay with you. So you have got to get out of the situation and block it and say, no, I will not be a part of this. And you have to leave. You have to walk out. That's the best way to deal with that. Defining that line is hard for me, okay? No sex, now what? Okay, no sex, now what? Cheryl Stone writes, defining that line is hard for me. Okay, no sex, now what? Yeah, exactly, Cheryl. That's a great question. No sex, now what? This is where you're going to find the person who you really want to spend your days with. I mean, really, think about it. Let's go there. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you. Okay, so we're talking about sex. This is something that, as I mentioned earlier, any guy can do. Listen, we all like that, right? Everybody does. Sex is great. Sex is natural. Sex is fun. Sex is best when it's one. All right, I'm going to stop with all the songs and the jokes, but here's the reality is that that's something that we all have, we all possess, we all enjoy, especially as a guy. I mean, but your question is very valid. No sex, now what? Well, now what you get to see is everything that's going to happen in between the sex. And let's be honest about sex. We're talking about a 5, 10, 15-minute session, right? I mean, I know a lot of people have this wild idea, oh my gosh, we could have sex all night long. No, you typically don't. It's like 5, 10, 15 minutes, depending, you know what I mean, age and whatever. But it's a short thing. So what my point is there's a lot of time in between. And that is what you want to see. So when you say, now what, you want a person who's going to be intimate in your life, close to your kids, in your house, close to your family, getting to know your body, this and that. But know how to hold that line. No, I don't know you. We're not going there. We're not doing that yet. No. See who stays with you. See what you can find out. See how long. See the patience. And you will see the true character of the man you're dealing with. Boom. How's that one? All right. Let's see what else we got. Boom, 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 boom. Rescue an angry man. Oh, man. Uh-oh, buffering now? Not with... Wow, D. What'd D say? 2 hours, laugh out loud. Not 5 to 10 minutes. What? What, D? Oh, man. Well, all right. I'm hoping for 2 hours. Man, that's I'll have to up my game. 2 hours, what it's supposed to be. Okay, that's enough of that, guys. All right, thanks for having me. All right, rescuing angry man. Let's see. Made you laugh? Yes, you did, D. Buffering too. I know YouTube is having a hard time. It looks like. Just when we're talking sex, Penny. Sorry. Hopefully it's going to stop buffering soon. There it is. Looks like it's going to stop buffering now. All right. Ghost Hunter said, my narc made me hate sex. Made me feel guilty for not giving it to him when I didn't want to. Honestly, just don't feel warmth when it comes to sex anymore. Yeah, that's typical. Wait, I need to hear I need to hear this. We're on to something. Oh, no, screen froze. All right. My ex stopped sex at the wedding night. Then it was weaponized. Narcissists, they can do that too. Just chilling now. Haven't had sex since 2007. I'm a 37-year-old man. I feel like I'm not normal. Suggestions? Mike, you're probably better off for it, man. Seriously. Yeah, don't don't think that. Yeah, it's great. It could be great and all, but if you're not in a relationship where it's going to be that where the intimacy exists in all departments, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Especially in today's world, so many problems can happen. Narcissists exist not only in men, but there are plenty of women narcissists as well. And many of them use what they know men like in order to try to achieve their own agenda. It creates a very scary thing. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Yeah, sex is a bond. It's true. It's true. This can be confusing, Kevin. I know. I know it is. I know it's confusing, Carl. Especially to hear another guy talk like this, Carl. I know you're saying, Carl, what are you doing? Kevin, you're ruining our game, man. We have a game out there, and we got a plan, and we're trying to get that girl and do that thing. I know, and I am that guy. I am that guy trying to, because at the end of the day, it's just not, it's listen, right now, as we are talking, there are guys watching channels of other guys talking about how to be pickup artists, how to say those words that are going to get the girl tonight, right? Because they don't care. And it's not about learning how to care or have love or affection or even taking care of somebody. It's about learning, in their world, it's about learning how to just get what they want. It is classes on narcissism 101, how to be a narcissist. I'm fine being that guy, saying, telling the girls, listen, this is what they're trying to do. This is the plan, because this is what all guys want. I wish, Carl, you're not going to like this, what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say this to all women out there. I wish that women knew their true worth and value, to what extent men desire to have a good woman, right? Women in today's women don't truly even know their value. But the reality is that men, because of how God designed us and made us, it's our number one desire is a good woman. This is why we strive to become powerful and wealthy and build empires. And part of that power is meaningless if there's no woman, if there's no partner to have. That's the ultimate goal. And so that puts the woman in a huge amount of power. They're the sought after one. They are the prize of any man. The problem is we've got a lot of guys out there who aren't necessarily hardworking and this and that, who peacock themselves as being something they're not, because they're trying to be tricksters and trick women into getting just what they want. And not only that, but they're not building the true value and understanding the value of the woman they have. Instead, they're just trying to get that one thing real fast. And so, I just want to let women know that women are in the position to be very picky with the guys they have in their life, with the man, hopefully the one man. You're very picky. You get to you choose. We live in a day, it used to not be that way. It used to be arranged marriages and this and that, but it's not. We live in a world where you get to choose. This means that you have the power, knowing what men need, knowing that men want to have someone to wake up next to just as much as you do, right? Knowing that men strive for everything about you, the softness of your skin, your hair, your beauty, everything. It's so valuable. It's so sought after that you are the one in position to then say, okay, I know you're a dude. I know you have needs. I know you have wants, but what do you have for me? I mean, is this all you got? Your one-liners, dude? Is this all you got? You're gonna peacock, flash your stuff for me? I mean, is that all you got? I want to see more than that, dude. If you want me lying next to you, I want to know about your stability. I want to know about your anger issues. I want to know about how you truly feel and deal on the inside. I want to know if you're really going to be there for me. Why am I going to give you, right? I'm talking to you women right now. You have to ask yourself, why am I going to give you what's the most precious thing to me? Myself. My body. Why am I going to give it to you? What about you is worth it? Boom. Do that. Challenge you. Any women watching this, challenge you to do that, and then live by that, right? And then when you find that, great, have fun, go for it, get married, be blessed, be happy, and in that, fulfill your part. And you will be much better off knowing that you're fulfilling your part, knowing that you found the good man that you need and you want in your life because you're getting what you want. Part of the problem, as far as you women who deal with narcissists, is that you failed in the beginning to make sure that you're getting what you want out of the relationship, or that the guy could even provide what you want, because you're looking at some of the wrong stuff. Oh, he's so cute. Oh my gosh. Oh, the grease in his hair. Oh my gosh, the muscles. He works out like 3 times a day. And I'm not trying to poke fun. I'm just saying that it's the shallow stuff that gets you in trouble. Oh, he makes me laugh. How many of you girls do this one? He makes me laugh, man. That's all I need is a guy that makes me laugh. I don't need to know anything about, his stability, his work ethics. Man, he just makes me laugh. I think I'm going to give him my body because he made me laugh pretty good. That deserves my body. No. Like I said, we live in a day and age right now. There's classes of men who are taking classes learning how to peacock and make you laugh. One-liners. They're learning how to do this. There's school. They teach themselves, and then they try it on you. And you know what I mean? And if the right guy with the right combo comes your way, slick back hair, big muscles, says that ridiculous joke that makes you laugh, boom, that's it. That's all it took for you? Really? Right? What happened to things like stability? What happened to things like getting to know somebody? What happened to the whole courtship process, right? So, anyways. Let's see. The blue eyes. Yeah. D remembers. I had a girl. Okay, I had a girl. I took a phone call. I don't typically share stories, but this was a good one. I did have a gal who, she was real broken up over this relationship. The guy was complete narcissist, very abusive, and we were talking about how they met and the signs and the red flags, and she said, we had a long conversation, but at some point in the conversation, she said, "Oh, he's so good looking, though," and already I was like, "Oh boy, here we go. This is why she's broken up." She got into a relationship, gave her body, gave her most precious things away over the looks. Literally, oh, he's so good looking. And she said this. I kid you not. He had these blue eyes, and it was like looking at the eyes of Jesus. And I tried my best not to lose it on the phone. I mean, I was going through all kinds of thoughts. I'm like, first of all, chickadee, calm down over the looks. Second of all, I'm sure Jesus did not have blue eyes because Jesus was a Hebrew man. Hebrews don't typically have blue eyes, but that's neither here nor there. The reality is that the whole focus was just on the looks, those blue eyes. And man, a life busted up over blue eyes, right? And it makes sense. I mean, we have a culture that sings songs about that. It's been like that for a long time. You're my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when she used to sing sha-la-la-la-la, beep-bop, beep-bop, beep-bop? Can men love and want one woman? Yes. I just saw that question from Ghost Hunter. Can men love and want one woman? Absolutely. Absolutely. One good woman in a man's life is all it takes, as long as this relationship is mutually fulfilling. Listen, guys' needs are very basic. there's going to be times where it's tested. If you're in a marriage or in a relationship, there's going to be times of this being tested. And it comes down to exactly what the Bible says. You have to know your partner. This is why it's so important to get to know the person, their likes, their dislikes, so that you can be able to serve mutually. The man serves you with what you need. You serve the man with what they need. So when we come into issues where I hope we're talking about a good man. Can a good man love one woman? Absolutely. First, he has to be a good man. So don't be finding a guy with a track record of doing whatever the heck he wants with all kinds of women and then say, well, this is it. Can he ever love me and be a one-woman man? No. He wasn't when you met him, so he's not going to be afterwards. But let's say you find a good man who is very monogamous, very dedicated, very devoted to the relationship, to building a life, to building a family. You find this guy, he works his ass off every day, going to work, right? Coming home. Now, taking care of you as the woman. And let's say at some point you kind of drop the ball in your area. Maybe you stop letting him know how important of a guy he is in your life. Maybe you stop being grateful for his efforts, working hard, doing his part. Maybe you start to distance yourself and stop giving him the things that he needs and desires as a man, right? And maybe he doesn't know how to tell you that he's suffering because of it. So these are things that these are all things why it's so important to get to know in and around the sex, get to know who these people are as friends, get to know them intimately with communication, because then you can start to talk, you can communicate, and you can be able to say, you have needs right now. Let me meet these needs for you, right? And you do that thing, right? Take the 5-10 minutes, D. Take the 10 to 15 minutes. Do that thing, right? And watch it shift. Watch the dynamic shift. Again, though, it has to be a man that you've already established that relationship, and it's a good relationship with. It can't be this pulling some peacocking dude off, that you met out of the bar, who has a track record of being with multiple people. Because that will probably never be a one-woman man, right? So to answer your question, Ghost Hunter, can men love and want one woman? It depends on where you're meeting them, who you're meeting. To answer your question, chances are not where you're meeting men, right? No. But yes, a good man, yes. If he's fulfilling his responsibilities to the relationship with dedication and you're fulfilling your parts with dedication, then yes. And that's what it takes. That's what a relationship takes. It takes both people dedicating themselves. It's not easy, always. And it's not always fireworks. And that's the problem, though, with the culture and society, and this is why narcissistic abuse is so rampant, is because everybody just wants the fireworks. Hardly anybody wants the dedication part. Forget the dedication, man. Just give me the freaking fireworks. Light it up. And when those fireworks are done, I'm done too. I mean, that's it. That's right. Adam was happy with Eve. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see what else we got. Good woman is all I would need. Unfortunately, I married the wrong one, and I didn't take the time to get to know her. That's typical. It happens. Listen, guys fall into the same trap a lot of times. Not getting to truly know the woman that they're dealing with, right? And it all starts to unfold. 5 years, 10 years, it comes out. All right. Yes, Tanya's right. Takes work, dedication. I enjoyed our conversation tonight. We were on a roll. Ghost Hunter writes, what if you don't believe you can be loved, be worthy of a good man after being with a narc? Well, there you go. This is the issue This is why you most likely end up with these types of guys, because you have at some point in your life brought your worth down to that level. I'm worth being used and left, and you have to change that. And again, there's so many levels to talk about your worth and your value, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and I just covered in this episode just your worth as a woman. You have to understand once again that you are the desire of every man. You really truly are. You need to look at it that way. You're the desired one. Men, you're the desired one. Your beauty, everything about you is the desired one. So what value are you going to start to put on that? Listen, you know what type of woman you are. You know what type of giving person you are. You know what type of lover you are. You know what type of cook you are. You know what type of everything, how much fun you bring to the relationship. So you have to ask yourself now, what deserves this? What deserves all of this? Right? Am I just going to give it away to any bum? Because he's got greasy hair and muscles? Because he made me laugh? Or does something better deserve this? But you ask a very important question. And this, I believe, Ghost Hunter, is where you need to find your healing and you need to seek the counseling. You need to start to build your worth and your value to yourself one block at a time. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're part of the Royal We. Hang out with the Royal We Facebook support group. Ask questions and get built up. I think it's by no mistake that the Royal We Facebook support group, the Royal We in general, is primarily, it's the majority women. And I did not plan that. That's just how it ended up. And so take advantage of that, because there's a lot of women here who would love to help build you up. And there's some guys here too that would like to build you up in the process. But, that's really what it's about. Just being lifted up and being built up, knowing your value. You've got to know your value, because if you don't know your value and what you're worth, then no guy is going to respect you and know your value and what you're worth, because you have to lead that guy like in a dance in order to get closer to you. You're the park. You're the beautiful park full of roses. Who are you going to let in your garden? Just any old bum, or you want people who are going to maintain that garden, right? A lot of nice parks and gardens, and these places have signs: no soliciting, no frickin' bums. Don't come in here and lie around, throw your trash in here, and then, you know what I mean? Come and go as you please. No. You want the good people who are going to take care of you, right? You want the good one who's going to take care of your garden, right? It's the best analogy I can give. Man, I feel like such a sap right now. I don't know why. I feel like I got to stop talking. I don't like when you say I'm not going to like what you say sometimes. That makes sense. Right on. All right. Well, listen. Hobosexual. I'm so glad that you are here tonight, everybody. Markia asked her husband, why did he love me? He said, I can't think of a specific reason. I just love you. If I loved you for a certain reason, then I could stop loving you. I don't know what to make of that. I really don't. It sounds to me like he's really good with his words. He kind of threw the twist in there. I don't know. I don't know what that means. That's interesting. All right. Well, listen, we're going to wrap it up. Excuse me. We're going to wrap it up. We've been going for an hour tonight. And like I said, I'm so happy that you are all here tonight. So thank you so very much for being here. And we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Be sure to be here next Monday night as we continue on the Royal We live every Monday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I will do my very best to fix the time. So it says 9 o'clock p.m. on the channel. Also, be sure to like and subscribe not only to this channel, but to the Organic Royal We channel. It's just the Royal We. That's where I upload the organic videos for you. Follow me on Instagram at Join the Royal We, at Join the Royal We on Instagram. Also, the Facebook support group. Be sure to check out the Facebook support group. There's a lot going on over there. You're welcome to... You're welcome to... Vitamin C, Kevin. Thank you. Thank you, Ghost Hunter. I know. You're welcome to donate through PayPal, through the Royal We channel if you would like. You can also join the Patreon, different things like that nature. And with that, be blessed, everybody. Have a great night. I'm glad that you're here. When's the next one? Carl, the next live Royal We chat is Monday night, next Monday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. All right. Have a blessed night, everybody. And we'll be back next Monday right here on the Royal We.